In this video, I'm going to be interviewing Armegon. You may know Armegon from his tech reviews, Mineman Club, Hypixel Skywars, or maybe even his ultimate hit sync video. And we're going to be finding out what Armegon is planning for his future, as well as his main struggles as a content creator. To the first ever episode of MMC Interviews. I'm here with...
Penis. Sorry, I was alt tab.
So this is Armegon, and yeah.
Am I? Oh
yeah,
wait, I thought it said Calvin. I just premiered my video. This interview is taking place literally like 5 minutes after my last video, dude. So I'm like emotionally charged to answer questions. Yeah, let's go. Fuck yes. Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be asking you just some simple questions, and hopefully, like, this is like the only time that you could be on. So I was like, fuck it, it's now or never.
Can you hear this?
So what are your plans for the future?
I'm gonna be doing music. I'm not like one of those YouTubers that like decide to become a musician out of the blue. I have actual musical training. I'm literally like taking a diploma course, so I'm qualified, I think.
I saw, like, spoiler alert, that you're probably gonna be doing military-related stuff.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know my PES status yet, which means I'm either gonna be fit for combat and I'm gonna like hold guns and drive tanks and shit, or I don't be fit for combat and I answer 4 emails a day for 8 hours. Doesn't that sound fun? Or I could be in the band, like the military band, depending on where I get assigned. We'll see.
Do you think you'll still be able to play Minecraft time to time?
I will probably only do it if I have friends online. I have not found joy in playing this game solo, at all. I think the main thing really is just the community or the lack of it. If you watch my Ultimate Hit Sync video from like a year and a half ago, well, it's been a year and a half. Oh my god. Okay, if you watch my Ultimate Hit Sync video from like a year and a half ago, you'll realize that pretty much more than half the YouTubers in that video have pretty much quit. I feel like the community we're in right now is completely different from the community that we were in this time last year. And I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about really just the attitudes certain people have and the relationships people have as well. And one more thing as well is really just entire communities vanishing pretty much. Like the entire Skywars comm is just not here anymore. MMC, the Asia community especially, right? It's like all we used to all know each other. I mean, I kind of joined pretty late, but we used to all know each other. But then like now I don't know who like 90% of the people in this comm are. It's just that sense of community that's like no longer here. Yeah, pretty much. I think that was one of the main reasons why I started enjoying the game less and less.
Who would you say, like,
Jonah.
has been your main, like,
Jonah.
inspiration?
Jonah. I mean, okay, if we're talking about like really just like people that I'm close to in terms of like knowing them personally, it's Minute Second Jonah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, my channel's been through many different phases.
Yeah.
I'd say in terms, okay, if we're talking about the montage phase, 100%, that was Lamar Lantern. Were you around for that? The montage phase?
Yeah, I was like there watching it.
Well, like, no, as in, were you there when I was like below 15k subs? You were, right?
Yeah.
You were, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember your name being there. Yeah. So that phase was definitely Lantern, 100%. The rest
Yeah.
is Telecord as well, like Volter and Fanist. And then you talk about Skywars content, that was easily just techno. That was 100% just techno from like 2016. Survival games, Beijing Canadian. But we're talking about just like content in general. The person I look up to the most in terms of like being a YouTuber.
Is there anything like you fear in terms of like? Oh my god, you're flexing the banners, bro. Is there anything like you are fearing or like, I guess like, anxious about relating to like your future?
Oh yes, of course. Wait, hang on a second. Wait, I need to like go through all my cloaks first. I'm still not done. Give me a sec. Just saying, I've not repeated any of the cloaks a single time. These are all different cloaks. Hang on, I'm almost there. Okay, there we go. Yes. Hi. Yes. Women. On a serious note, I'd say I really live life in a very carefree way in the sense that I have this full understanding that money doesn't mean shit. As in, okay, I mean obviously like you have to have money to like do like the things you love to some extent, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like at the end of the day, I want to do things that really just makes me happy, and so I'm not too worried about anything for the future. Obviously, we're talking about actual income. What I'm doing in the future, it could either make me a lot of money or it just like gives me nothing. The fear is kind of like not say abandoning. How to say this? Making sacrifices but then the outcome not being bigger than the sacrifice you made.
Revolving around like time, anything like that's crossed your mind related to like time and
Not
outcomes?
really, because I've always, I won't say prided myself, but I'd say like one of the main things I always kind of thought I was able to do was to really manage my stress levels really well and just kind of like push myself to do the best overall for everything that I was doing. But the main issue is that I don't know my own limitations.
Yeah.
In terms of actual time management, I think the main thing killing my time right now are the appointments that I have to go for. So like my actual school right now, or when I go for army and being in camp like every
Yeah.
day, right? But if we're talking about like time management outside of those appointments, I can definitely juggle everything a lot better. But okay, I this is gonna segue a bit into a more psychological, philosophical thing. Okay, it's not really
Yeah.
philosophy, but you get the point. Okay,
Yep.
pretty much the most important thing I've realized when it comes to basically giving your all for something is that 90% of all of the work that you do for something you're passionate about is away from the workstation and it's actually in your head. It's the planning and the thought process of constantly improving on what it is you're passionate about, not necessarily at your workstation, right? Like let's say you
Yeah.
really want to like write a story, right?
Yeah.
Most of the work is actually done away from your computer. You're actually thinking about things 24/7. You're actually
Yeah.
looking at inspiration and ways to actually elements to actually put into that story pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
You're
what people don't
using all
get.
the pieces, and you can't like just make a puzzle without pieces. If that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'd say that's my biggest struggle in the sense that I can physically do everything I need to do at my stations. But the issue is when I first joined the music school I'm currently in, everything was getting taught at a level where I was really fucking arrogant, so people hated me. But basically I was able to just not pay attention in class and still get A's, right? And so because
Yeah.
of that, I didn't have to do shit for school. And I was able to really just concentrate on my montages and my content.
Do you think you're gonna be like doing any music related content if
Yeah,
that was
100%. Okay, here's the thing. I'm still gonna be on YouTube, just not Armegon. I might promote the new channel. I'll see how. Pretty much, I have like what a decade's worth of like experience with YouTube, right? Pretty much at this point.
Mhm.
So I can use that to propel my next career. You get what I mean? I
Yeah.
understand the algorithm and
Yeah.
what's good and what's bad. And not to mention, I still have an online presence, so I can kind of like bring my community over, I guess.
You wanna like give like a backstory on like just the evolution of Armegon? How did you come up with the
Fucking hell, dude. Oh my god.
name? A short
Oh
summary.
shit, this is gonna be a long story. Okay, I started off with Beijing Canadian type content. I remember one of my first videos. My first video ever was a fucking 2D animation. It was a 24 FPS like weird like Herobrine shit. Anyways, but after that, basically, I started moving into Skywars. Skywars was the main content as well as Bad Lion. And Skywars, Bad Lion, what else was there? Sky Clash. Holy shit.
Oh my god. That's a big game I haven't heard in ages.
Yeah, I did. I used to play on a Mac. It was a like 10-year-old Mac
Oh, me
at the
too.
time,
Yep, me
and
too.
it didn't have a screen recorder, so I would record by putting my phone on a camera stand in front of me.
Oh my god. Dude, I'd use the QuickTime player thing that was there.
No, you see that the thing is with that, you're actually like actually recording. I was using like a iPhone 4 or some shit,
Yeah.
and just like propping it up in front of my screen. The resolution is awful. But yeah, anyways, if you're wondering why my KDR is that bad on Hypixel, that's why. So then afterwards, oh my god. Okay, yeah. So I started YouTube right after Nexus went offline. I got another Mac and I started recording more. I played on windowed mode so that I could get maximum FPS. My setup at that time was a Razer Naga. It was a
Oh
Razer
my
Naga
god.
Hex, and it was a keyboard that my admin and I have dubbed the Ant Decapitator because there was so much dust and shit inside that there was probably like an entire ant graveyard inside. After that, COVID hit. In terms of content, at the time I was still uploading Skywars almost daily. I was also uploading like funny videos like I do occasionally now. And at that time I was playing card games. Have you heard of Buddy Fight? Have you heard of Vanguard?
Of Vanguard, yeah.
Okay, same company that made Vanguard, they made this game called Buddy Fight. So I used to play this game competitively and I would spend thousands of dollars on this game because I could make the money back by winning tournaments and reselling
Oh
stuff.
my
So
god.
basically, COVID hit, right? And I couldn't go out of the house. And so I had these cards sitting in my house. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to be going anywhere for 3 months. I'll sell these off first. And then when we actually can go out, I'll buy them back so that I can make some money in the process. So I sold them off. And less than a week after I sold everything off, I believe I made $5,000. The game, they announced the cancellation of the game. So stocks basically plummeted to like 10%. Basically, like a card that used to be worth $100 will be like $20 now. or $10 now. So I got really lucky when I sold off my entire collection. So I used that money from the collection to buy my PC. And I bought the Viper Mini and the Model O minus. Now that is where I started the whole tech scene thing, because I was comparing the mice because they were like the best budget mice at the time, right? But I started making a bit of pot PvP content because that was when I ran into Fanus. I met Fanus and Lantern around that time.
Oh damn.
And I was also grinding Skywars. Okay, before like going onto my PC, I was grinding Skywars 12 hours a day. But because I was on a Mac and I have 230 ping, my KDR was shit, and I was progressing really slowly. If I had 5 MS, I can guarantee I'll be at like 60 or 70 star right now. But I don't have 5 MS, and I have 230 on Hypixel, so I'm still a 30 star or something like that. I can't remember. I think I'm 27.
Still a lot.
It's not a lot by today's standards. But yeah. So that's where I got introduced to the Asia Com, and I started moving into more practice PvP stuff. And then I got my setup and everything. There was a lot of drama that happened with the Asia community or specific people in there. That was where I started to get known. And then I started making montages because I met Lantern, and I was like, yo, these montages are cool. And at the time I was also bought the Super Light, and I was like, yo, this is such a cool mouse. I'm gonna be doing this. So there is where my montages and tech stuff was cemented. My Skyward stuff was still going on, and my pot stuff was going on. And then after a bunch of like montages, I think I hit 3K it was, and then I posted the fateful video, the ultimate hit sync, and that was where I basically blew up pretty much. Like from there, I was just in the algorithm, and anything I did was basically picked up, and I was good. But the issue is I took it for granted, and my content started deteriorating over the past 12 months, and so obviously I'm not in the algorithm anymore. But it's fine.
But
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not so much I took it for granted. It's more so like I kind of like
blessing in a way.
in a sense, like I was kind of like, no, not really. I was kind of hoping like, okay, if the algorithm is carrying me right now, I can put more effort into school. You know what I mean? Because I was hitting a point where I was starting to find school difficult.
But
so that's a very abridged version of my YouTube life.
That's the evolution of Armegon. How did you meet up with like Lanta and stuff like that, Fanus?
Fanus was the first person I met in the Asia Com. We used to play on a server called Grave.ml. It was a Malaysia server, and that was the first server I ever played on where I had less than 200 ping. Well, I mean, that was SYUU or CU. But you know, I don't know. I just kind of met up with him, and then afterwards, he was part of this group. I can't remember what they were called. I can't remember what they were called. Anyways, okay, so it was him, Lamal Lanter, and this guy called Gary Iltez. Oh, they were in the Power Rangers. Fuck yes. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So basically, yeah. So Lanter, Fanus, and Gary. These were like the faces of the Asia community at the time. And then Volter was also up and coming because he did packs for Verse. I believe he did it for Stimpy as well, right? At one point, or Tryhard.
Sure.
So that was that pretty much. And then afterwards, I started to get bigger and bigger because I was a lot more consistent with my uploads, right? And at that time, YouTube was still valuing consistency a lot more than watch time. So basically, I started growing bigger and bigger, and sooner or later, I basically became the biggest of them. And then I made this Discord or this like mini YouTuber group called Stellarcord, which you probably heard of before.
Actually, surprisingly, haven't.
You haven't? Oh my god, that means you're not that OG, but okay.
Nah.
So this will be my 3K sub-ish era.
Yeah, that's when I like stumbled by your channel, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Around then.
So the Stellarcord era was right before that. Like at this point, Jonah was at 20K subs, and he was huge to us pretty much. Like the concept of us being like the concept of us interacting with Jonah on a like level playing field was just unbeknownst to us because he was seen as like a big YouTuber. So when he reacted to our edits, we were all like losing our minds, and now we're like fucking like friends with him. But no. So pretty much Jonah gave Gary a shout out, but Gary wanted to quit. And he basically just quit like that. He hit 1K subs and then just quit. Fanus hit 2K and he quit as well basically because he started getting lazy with content and feeling really demotivated. Lanter quit at 4K, and that was because of the Asia community, because at that point the only notable faces in there were really just me and him. Everyone else had left at that point. Yeah, and Volter started losing motivation as well. To me, I always feel like motivation always 100% of the time stems from community. If you're doing something alone, it's never fun compared to if you're doing it with friends. I cannot think of a single thing in the world where doing it alone. I mean, obviously, there are people who really push themselves to their limits in certain things. But I'm talking about like more general stuff. For example, watching a movie, right? Like you can enjoy movies and stuff, but it's not, to some extent, unless you're like a super movie critic, right? It's not as fun to watch a movie alone as it is to watch with friends, or let's say eating at restaurants, right? If you go alone, you're seen as a fucking loser. I think it's the same thing. Right? It's the same thing as like just content.
50K did you ever have any thoughts revolving around hitting 50K?
To some extent, I still do, because I am I want to do a final stream where I really just interact with everyone in the comm, and I might just try to make that like a streaming to 50K thing.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I feel like it's entirely possible considering how cool my comm is, but we'll see how. Oh fuck! I've not warmed up at all, dude. No, whatever.
This is my first game, like, like today, so you're fine.
Did you choose this so that I can't bow boost?
I chose it. Yeah, just so you wouldn't bow boost. Oh no, he did the thing. No. We Fortniting.
Uh,
Oh, I switched that.
bro, ain't no way you're gonna lose to me, dude. But that rod just went right through you. I can't lava today, apparently.
Let's see, does Armegon complain about his ping?
I'm not going to. There's no reason for me to right now. I'm trying to like butterfly click, but my fingers are not warmed up for it at all. Bro, I tried to like pick up the lava with flint and steel. You just tried a 360.
I was hoping you'd notice. Wait, you're going in? You're a psycho! No! Oh, oh my god.
Bye.
Oh my god. I'm not. Wait.
That you had you could do.
Man, shut the fuck.
Oh no, this is like my worst mode, bro.
The same. I can't CPS to save my life, dude.
And I have a broken W key. It like falls out, so this is gonna be like perfect.
Should I start trying?
Oh,
Okay.
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 What's a kit that we both think would be suitable for a final fight?
Archer. That's your thing.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I'm gonna make it even more even. Give me.
Are you taking off your stuff?
This is a tip. For like a long range bow, you just wanna like prioritize your aim more than your dodging. I would say, because like you'd have enough time to still react to the arrows. However, for close range, it's a little bit different. I'm not getting 3-0'd. I might be getting 3-0'd.
You're not. Yep. Okay, jeez. That was close.
Oh my god. GG. I reckon this is probably gonna be it for the interview. Have you got anything else to say?
The best way to get something done, if you hold it near and dear to you, that you like to be able to. Anyway, Joe Biden.